Hey y'all, so we're back with another makeup video today, and I am going to be doing one of my favorite types of looks. Excuse the hair, but we'll go ahead and get started. I'm using the Milk Makeup Hydrogrip Primer that is amazing for my skin. I have more normal to dry skin, so it really helps to get that hydration in and also fixate my makeup. As usual, I'm going to brush up my brows and go ahead and gel them down with my Benefit Brow Gel, which is the best brow gel out there. And then I'm going to go ahead and color correct with my LA Pro Girl Orange Color Corrector. I've been using this one for years now, and it works the best for me. So I make sure to get around all of my dark areas, underneath my eyes, around my nose, and then my other little spots on my face, and especially around my mouth. You don't need a brush for this part. Your fingers work just fine for it. Okay, so after all of that is blended in, I'm going to go ahead and with my black Opal foundation stick, and this is in the color Carob, and it is a little bit warmer than my skin tone, but still almost the same undertone. And then I go in with all Chocolat black Opal foundation stick to even it out as well. Now, this tutorial is not for the makeup faint at heart. This is an absolute full coverage tutorial. So for my foundation base, I'm going to use MAC Studio Fix Fluid NC50 and my Maifanshi Moisture Foundation, which kind of makes that Studio Fix not as matte, but it still gives the coverage, and because of the formulation, it does not separate once you mix them together, and it gives you a beautiful, comfortable finish. And I'm actually using my beauty blender to go ahead and blend out the foundation. So for my highlight, I'm going to mix my Fenty concealer in 380 and 420. They both have cool undertones, but give me just the right amount of highlight pop. Now I do have the 420 I use alone on days that I'm not trying to highlight. It is my almost exact skin tone. But here we're going to highlight because we're doing a full coverage look. I also do not highlight around my mouth or my upper lip, because when you highlight, it tends to bring out a feature more, and I do not have a sunken in top of my lip, so that step is not necessary for this part. So I'll let that dry down a little bit before I go ahead and blend it out with that same beauty blender. Okay, so to go ahead and contour my face, I'm going to take that Carob again, which is just a warmer, slightly deeper tone than my natural face. And I love the way that this kind of bronzes my look without necessarily giving me that hard, sculpted, contoured look. So for the nose part, I do still take the beauty blender, but I do take it on the edge so I can keep that contour as clean as possible without going through the middle where I highlighted. And to set everything that I highlighted, I'm going to take the original Mercier translucent set powder and that same sponge and press it on those highlighted areas until it disappears. I also do it underneath my lip because lip gloss tends to travel down there. Okay, to set my entire face, I'm going to take MAC Mineralize Skin Finish, the pressed version in dark, And we're still working with the same sponge, and swirl it into the product so that we can press it into the skin, and you just get a much better finish this way, and it'll last even that much longer. We're finally going to use a brush, and I'm going to take that Fenty Coco Naughty bronzer and go ahead and bronze everywhere that I put that Carob, just to bring back the details in my face. But I love how this looks, how it doesn't look harsh or anything. Everything winds up looking airbrushed and blended by the time I finish. So just to deepen it just a little bit on my closest outer edge, I'm going to take MAC Studio Fix Powder pressed in NW58. That's going to add a little bit more depth to those edges. And because I'm going for a full look, I am going to cut that cheek a little bit more with that NW58 MAC Studio Finish Powder. Okay, so for my eyes, I'm going to start with a fluffy blending brush and take a mixture of that same Fenty and NW58 Studio Fix powder and go ahead and deepen my crease. I do have what's called a hooded lid, so I try to make sure that I go up above, higher than what my natural crease is, so that I get that look. I'm also going to take a smaller blending brush and drag that same color combination underneath my eye and try not to get it in my eyes. So we're going to be using Anastasia Beverly Hills Jackie Aina palette again. I'm mixing those two colors and go in with still deepening that crease to warm it up just a little bit from all those bronzers we used. Okay, so what you didn't see me do off camera was prime my lid with MAC Groundwork Paint Pot. And I'm going in with this $5 eyeshadow that I found at Walmart. It's by E.L.F. and it's called Copper Pop. And it is super pretty and super easy to apply. I just make sure that on the edges before it dries, I go ahead and blend it out with that same blending brush. I got a clean one here. I'm actually going to layer this on a couple times to get that look I want, and there it is. So for my outer crease, I'm going to take that hot pink color and go ahead and stipple it on and blow it out. So in order to keep layering this color on, I'm just using a smaller blending brush to intensify that pink color. And so what I love to do when I do these blown out crease looks is match my cheeks with the same eye color. And so I added that same eyeshadow onto my cheek as my blush. And for my brows, I'm using my Benefit Brow Pencil in the shade 4.5. And I'm only lightly lining the bottom because I have very full brows. So they do not need much or they will look completely overdone. So because we're going for that full glam look, I am going to use a little bit of that Fenty concealer combination underneath my brow very lightly and then blend it out. And then add some mascara. Off camera, I added my favorite pair of lashes, the iconic number 16s. And I'm using some Loreal Voluminous Carbon Black mascara. Okay, so for my lips, I'm going to go in with Bar Straight Livin dark brown lip liner and shade in the outer areas of my lip. And you really want to move this lip liner while it's still kind of creamy because it will set and it almost becomes waterproof, which is great in a lip liner. And I'll go in with my favorite lip, nude lip, which is Magic Wand by Colourpop. And just take my fourth finger and blend all that together so it's a seamless look. And my lip gloss of choice is also by E.L.F. It is in Champagne Glam, which is one of my favorite colors. And it is a plumper gloss, so it does have a tingle. I'm just going to do my finishing touches and add a little bit more of that eyeshadow as blush just to bring up my look more, and then stipple that same hot pink eyeshadow from the palette in my outer crease to bring that color out more. Okay, so you know how when you're at the end of your look and you're like, okay, it needs a little bit more, so I'm just going to keep packing on that color and intensifying my crease and blowing it out and blending as I go. You tend to get more color payoff when you stipple the product on and then lightly blend it out.
So I hope you really enjoyed this look. It was really easy for me to create because it's my go-to. Comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And I really do appreciate you for sticking around with me through having a baby and everything and my inconsistencies online. I really appreciate your support